Yo, number one show at late night, nothing but illustrious guests. Mero, who's in the building today?
Yo, we got the illustrious James Todd Smith, a.k.a. LL Cool J is hard as hell. He excels. Y'all all fail.
What up, Uncle Ellie, LL Cool J. Ladies love Cool James, hip-hop veteran, GOAT, legend. You know what I'm saying? You know him. You know your sister might have had a crush on him. Your mother might have like fainted when he took off his shirt at Essence Fest. Listen, your man's been out here. Hip-hop legend. LL, how's it going, man?
Yo. Man, it's great, man. Just came in from Essence Fest. I'm feeling phenomenal. Just put my shirt back on. All love, you know?
There you go, man.
Essence Fest. Oh, you got the Essence Fest glow, homie.
There you go.
Shirt back on and shit. You know, I'm feeling good. How you guys doing?
We're good, bro. We're good.
Happy to be talking to you, man.
Exactly, bro. This is a dream right here, man. Like watching you, you were just like one of those people. It's not like you were even a rapper to us. Like you were just like more like a bedrock.
Yo.
Like rap was built on you, if you know what I'm saying. What was it like? Not even a rehash of that, but when you look back at your legacy as a rapper, and you know you've made the cool transition to being an actor and directing all that stuff. But what is your takeaway from what you left in the music game, the legacy you left?
Well, you know, it's funny, man. I think that the main thing is just kind of the beauty of it is never forgetting where you came from. You know what I'm saying? And always feeling really, really deeply connected to the culture. And that's just something that never goes away. The other thing is, you know, from a generational standpoint, you know, obviously, you know, there's your generation. There's some people that grew up and they don't really know that I came from the struggle bus. You know what I'm saying? Like, like it's like I was a celebrity their whole life. Whole life. And in reality, I came from Queens. I really got it out the mud. Like I really, you know, and so it's really just a big blessing. I'm really thankful. But, you know, I also at the same time, I try to make sure that, you know, the guys that came before me and the guys that came before Run DMC, that like we give respect to, you know, the Flash and the Furious 5 and the Treacherous 3 and the Crash Crew and the
VX all day.
And like that's why even like with the new thing I'm doing now, I gave Kool Herc ownership in it. He's the founder of hip hop in general, right? So I said, if I'm gonna do something in the classic hip hop space, and if I'm gonna have a company rocking in that area, like from the heart, I really need to make sure that not only that same way you look at me as the bedrock, well, I look to him and some of those guys as the bedrock, and I want to make sure that they all are still winning and still lifted up and treated with love and prestige. So that's really been the thing, you know what I'm saying? Just to keep it all the way 100, not to be, like, not to get so heavenly that you know earthly good, you know what I mean? Like not to like so Hollywooded out that I forget, you know what I'm saying? Like, just to stay connected to my people. And also, really, at this point, you know, the focus is just making sure that people remember Generation X, because it's like the lost middle child. It's like you hear about, it's either okay.
It's like millennials, boomers.
Yeah, boomers, millennials, and then Gen Z. But like, what about Gen X? Like, so, you know, I'm just kind of out here just really representing that. You know what I mean?
Yo, but what was it like though? Like, cause yo, a lot of your biggest records and like your success came really early on, dog. You were like 16, 17, 18, like, and becoming this megastar. Like, how did you handle that as essentially as a kid?
I mean, you know, you just, well, the first thing, the beauty of it is I never approached it like a kid rapper. Like I never was a kid rapper. Like, no disrespect, but like Bow Wow and like Romeo, like they were kid rappers. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I came out at 16, but I wasn't a child rapper. It was like coming out of high school, going to the league. You know what I mean? Like I was
different,
immediately, right? So, you know, it felt like a dream come true. You know, as a brother in the hood, like, my grandfather, you know, worked at the post office and, you know, like was a baggage handler at JFK, and like I know what hard work is, you know what I'm saying? So it's like I just was really thankful to be able to do something, and then to be able to like look after my grandmother, be able to buy my mother a house. It was the simple things that really mattered the most. Yeah, I had 1,000 cars and all that, but it was about like being able to get my mother a house, and my grandmother needed nurses, being able to give my grandmother nurses, and you know, those things. And then, you know, then there was things you miss, right? Like I never went to like a prom, you know what I'm saying? Like I didn't go to proms. I didn't experience certain things, you know, graduation. Like I was already on the road. I was already gone. So, but it was all love, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, imagine LL Cool J pulling up to your fucking graduation, B. Like,
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
You stealing the shine, B. You the valedictorian is just like, yo, for real?
Yeah.
Y'all gonna put homie in the front row?
If that happened, you'd have people still talking about that to this day. Like, you be in the office, you trying to use something, and someone's like, did I ever tell you about the time LL pulled up in my prom? Hold on, let me show you a picture. It's like, nah,
No,
Clarice.
look, this me.
Not trying to see this again. Not trying to see this again.
I let him smash.
LL, you've been out there with the rap, but you've also been working TV, movies since '85, since way back in the day.
Shows,
Your longevity is like, what do you attribute to that longevity, and how do you pick projects? Because you're all over the place. Like, you're not typecast one particular character. Like, we see you in all types of movies, all types of roles. How do you pick a project?
Well, first of all, I just think in life you never limit yourself. You know, like, just don't limit yourself. It doesn't mean that you can't have a strategy for your career. It doesn't mean that you can't have a strategic objective that you're trying to accomplish. Like, you guys have to show. I'm sure there are other things that you're thinking about, but you just don't limit yourself. You know what I'm saying? Like, you really have to see yourself, see growth, and be willing to take risks. One of the things that comes with, you know, longevity and being in the game a long time is that you're going to have wins and losses. And you're going to have moments when people think you're ridiculous, and then moments when people give you love, and you're going to have public missteps that, you know, and things happen. So you just keep going after what you believe. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I think you can't, the other thing for me that's been really important is you just can't get arrogant. You know what I'm saying? Like, like, I'm not talking about confidence. You know, I'm very confident in who I am and what I do in terms as an artist and as a man. But I'm saying you can't get arrogant, because the arrogance really stops you from making great decisions, because you get in this mindset where you think you're invincible. And that's dangerous, which doesn't mean that you shouldn't be confident. Does that make sense? So
that makes sense.
When I go after a role, or when I go after something, my thing is, is my instincts telling me to do it? Because I always follow my instincts. I follow my intuition, B. That's like the best tool in the toolbox. You know what I mean? Like, like, follow your intuition. You know what I'm saying? Like, because people are always going to have something to say. People are going to always tell you, you shouldn't do this, you shouldn't do that, because, you know, they got their own issues that they may be hiding behind. You know what I'm saying? So you gotta just be you. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, so that's how I move. Like, it doesn't matter to me what somebody else is doing. That doesn't even come into play. The only thing that's important is, do I believe in what I'm doing? Is this going to lift up the people around me? Is this going to lift me up? Is this on my agenda? Does this get me one step closer to my dream? If so, I'm in.
That's good advice right there, man.
Yo, word, for real.
Listen, that's OG advice.
For real. That's barbershop jewels right there.
Yeah.
But yo, on the music tip though, like, you kind of like, to me, you kind of like the prototype for Drake, bro, because you had the sensitive side for the ladies and all that, and then you hit motherfuckers with 12 shots to the dome. Mama said knock you out. You know what I'm saying? I still remember that joint with Foxy and Pun.
Yeah,
and yo, that was hard.
Yeah.
That was a ride out joint. But then you got I Need Love, you know what I'm saying? Like,
you got Hey Lover, all that.
Lounging, you know what I'm saying?
Lounging.
All that. Yeah, bro.
But the game was a little different when I started. See, when people, like, I always made hard records, you know what I'm saying? You know, early on. What happened is that as things progressed, see, when I first started making records, rap only got played maybe an hour or two on the weekends. You know what I'm saying? Like, there was no rap music on the radio all day long. Like, you live in a world now where that's inconceivable. All right?
Right.
Like, it's
rap is pop.
No, yeah, but at the time, like, so the records that were getting played and the records that would give you a chance for success had to be a little more melodic. They had to have some melody. They had to have a vibe. They had to be able to fit a little bit more in with the format. And so what would happen was, you know, as a record company would try to push my records or my singles, the DJs would gravitate towards those records on my albums, right?
Gotcha.
So then what happens is, when people keep consistently gravitating towards those records, you start kind of following that path, and like you develop a formula, and what ultimately ends up happening is you get branded for something that is not the only thing that you're about. It's like it would be like you know, like if they only focused like they do though, right? But like if they only focused on Harden, if they said Harden carries, like, and they only focus on that, That's the only thing he focus on forever. That's what he would be known for. It's like, but that's not that's not his whole game. Like Michael Jordan's whole game wasn't just dunk, right? Like, so the love song thing, like, just to get back to that, is that I always liked girls. That was something I was into. You know what I'm saying? Everybody to each his own, all love.
But the ladies love Cool James.
And I make the records. I just would make records in that zone, and it just started working. But look, the Rock the Bells and the I Shot Yas and the To the Break of Dawns and the Illegal Searches and the
Illegal
Mama
Search,
Bads and all those records, them records is crazy and hard. I Shot You, 4 3 2 1, and I had a lot of records like that. But that comes with the territory, So I ended up paving a new market that I didn't know I was paving. You know what I'm saying? Like, which was a market that could open it up for guys to make records, that were female friendly and melodic and I didn't know I was doing it at the time, but it ended up opening a pathway, and so I receive it. I accept it. I'm cool with it. I'm happy I was able to do it. You know what I mean?
Listen, we're happy you did it. Tell us about Come Dance With Me. What did we get into there?
So Come Dance With Me is a project that I'm doing with Chris O'Donnell and 3 Ball, and basically it's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be like, if you have a little kid in your family, your niece, your nephew, son or daughter, maybe they 8, 9, 10 years old, whatever, and they really, really could dance. Now they can invite mom or invite dad or uncle or whoever's close to them to come in and dance with them on TV. But maybe dad can dance, maybe he can't. Maybe mom can dance, maybe he can't. But they come on TV and they do routines and they dance to all different types of music. It's gonna be a lot of fun. It's good.
That sounds like fun.
It's gonna be good for the family. Families enjoy this. You know what I'm saying? Good family fun. Yeah,
that's good.
To me, that's dope, because like, to me, you kind of became like, regardless of the hard records and all that type of stuff, like, you kind of like America's sweetheart type of shit. Yeah, and the only person I can think of, like, is like you, Snoop, and Hove have had this longevity and this like America loves you, B. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, no matter where you go.
I'm grateful, you know what I'm saying? I appreciate the love. And look, man, what can you say, right? Like, good things happen. It's a blessing. I'm thankful. I have no complaints. I can't beef. I have no bitterness. I can't, the one thing I do care about is, seeing my people get treated properly. You know what I'm saying? I think that's important. I want to see people get treated the way they deserve to be treated. And, I don't think that, our country needs to revert back into being a Confederacy. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I don't think that that's a good look. I don't, it didn't end well the first time. It ain't going to end well the time either. So I don't think we should revert to that. I think we have to keep moving forward as a country and stay connected. So look, I'm proud of the things that I should be proud of. You know what I'm saying?
Is there anything that you're not proud of? A spicy question. Is there anything that you did that you're like, damn, dog, like, woo, you watch it in retrospect and you like, or is everything just like a learning experience?
Well, I think you incorporate the learners, man. Look, you're going to always have missteps, or see, sometimes your intentions could be right, but maybe the communication isn't there. You know what I'm saying? Maybe you meant to say something, but people heard another thing. Like, it is what it is. You could argue with yourself all day long about projects you had and why they didn't connect or why, but at the end of the day, your intentions, you shot the shot, you meant it to go in, but it missed.
It missed.
You missed. Like,
nobody shoots 100%.
If you missed, you missed. So I've had misses, but I'm not, ashamed of any of that, because I think that that's just part of being a champion. You know what I'm saying? Like, you just got to get back up off the floor or get back in the next game and, wipe your head off and wrap your knees up and go get it again. You know what I mean?
Got you.
That's part of it.
Yo, bro, this is wild. And because you talking about games. The Any Given Sunday, the Jamie Foxx special, where he's talking about like, yo, this motherfucker thought we was really playing football.
The way we got into it was crazy, because what happened was he thought we was really playing football. He thought we was really on a team. Yeah. I'm like, don't he know this is acting?
Like, give us the LL side of that story.
Listen, man, I love Jamie. That's my man. It's all good. Yo, Jamie is crazy, man. Jamie's in there. He was sensitive. He was LL, all right? That motherfucker, he was sensitive, okay? We did a scene, and I'm acting, you know, and slapping his shoulder pads and acting, you know, because
like a character.
Acting. This motherfucker, he thought I was serious. Like I don't know. I must have been doing a really good job. So he decided, you know, in his omniscient wisdom, that good idea. He thought it was a good idea to punch me in my face. And I strongly disagreed, B.
Yo, you from Queens. You gotta represent.
You took it back to Farmers Boulevard.
I strongly disagreed with that. You know what I mean? So,
man.
You know, I disagreed. He understood I disagreed. And then we kept it happens. You know?
Yeah, it happens, man.
Kevin,
bro, what's it like hosting the Grammys?
I think, like, with all due respect, I think Kanye should, you know, maybe he should piss in a Yeezy or something.
Yeah.
I mean, instead of pissing in a
piss on a Grammy?
Piss in a pair of one of them Yeezys, B. Like, you know, I felt some kind of way about that shit. I didn't love that shit because I hosted the Grammys for 5 years. Yeah, the Grammys didn't get everything right, but they didn't get everything wrong either. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
And I don't understand where this constant disrespect. Look, now don't get me wrong. There's been some foul things that have happened to some artists around the Grammys. Like they are not without flaw. Don't get me wrong. They are not perfect at all. And I've seen some things happen, and I was like, damn. Like I remember one year they invited Jay down, and I felt like, you know, he should have got some love, and he got snubbed that year, and I really didn't think about it. I didn't say nothing to him about it because we don't talk like that. But in my mind, I was like, damn, they invited homie down. They got him in the front row. He got his family here. Like, you're not gonna give him one? And he had a big so I've seen that. But homie pissing in Grammys, like, yo, pissing one of them space shoes, B. Fucking space shoes and stuff.
Oh man,
crazy, man.
Q, you in the house?
Yo,
come on, man. Fuck is he doing,
man.
Yo,
you just.
I mean,
this is Queen Center Mall LL right here.
Taking it back. Yo, LL, you just congratulations. Your daughter just turned 25.
Yeah,
that's a. Bro,
yeah,
that is a big moment. What I know you've accomplished a lot in your life, but I know when we talk to entertainers, they're like, "Yo, I got 10 Grammys, I got 20 cars." But when it comes to your kids and those big moments, how does it feel? Because I can kind of see you getting choked up already, man.
It ain't that I'm choked up.
Talk to me.
You know, I came up in the game, so you know, it's like you know, she's doing really well with the clothing. Her Samaria Leah clothing is doing well. I really respect everything she's doing. She went to school for that. You know, I'd love for her to put some clothes on Instagram, but she gotta do what she gotta do. And you know what I mean? It would be nice. You know, could you put some clothes on sometime?
Yeah.
But but other, you know, once in a while, just wear an outfit once in a while. But she's really doing well. I'm very proud of what she's accomplishing. And you know, I wish her the best. And you know, I'm just happy to see her believing in the beauty of her dreams. My other daughter, Nina, is singing. She's working really hard on that, and I'm proud of her as well. She's in school for music, and she loves it. She's a singer-songwriter. My eldest daughter is, she's married and, you know, has a family, baby, and she's doing her thing and having a wonderful life. And then my son, who's super creative, you know what I mean? He's, you know, he's like kind of like a genius a little bit to me. And he's really special. So, you know, I'm really proud of the family. You know, I'm proud of the kids, you know, but they're going to have to get it. They ain't getting it from the mud, but they're getting it from Mud Light because they're not going to be spoiled. You know what I mean?
They don't know. They don't know.
No. That's what I said. That's why I be telling motherfuckers, I only buy 1 ply toilet paper and I keep it in the house so the kids will stay humble. You know what I'm saying?
So they remember. Oh, man. LL, what piece of advice do you wish you could go back and tell your younger self that you've learned over your career?
Wow. Man. Probably the only thing that I wish I would have done differently is early on I owned a piece of Def Jam and I sold it a little too early.
Okay.
You know what I mean? That would probably be the only thing that I wish I, you know, could have got back. And it's not only because of the money. Yes, it's the money, but it's really because of all the work that I put in the company. I should have been able to feel that win. You know what I mean? When the company sold, and I didn't really get to feel the win. I own my catalog. I've owned it a long time. I own my masters. You know, they have a small interest in it. I'm doing fine on that level, but I didn't get to participate in that victory. And then there was times when, like, you know, as time went on, then when people would come in and like when people would become president of a company and different artists would sign and people would say things to me like, oh, he got overlooked and this and that. They didn't realize that in reality, I never wanted to be an executive, but I did have a piece of the company and I should have had it at that time. You know what I mean? And it just, you know, so that wasn't the greatest feeling, but you know, you live and you learn, man. And like, you know, it is what it is, right? We just got to be thorough. That's why I started Rock the Bells though, right? Like, you know, the Rock the Bells platform, you know what I mean? Like I gave, like Kool Herc has a piece of the company, you know what I'm saying? Like, literally ownership and Run and D and you know, and Eric B and, you know, Big Daddy Kane and Pepper and Fab Five Freddy and Risk and Crazy Legs from Rocksteady Crew and, you know, Ernie. So I'm just like, you know, I'm building this multimedia platform. And the fun thing is it went from a station on Sirius XM channel 43 to this multiple media platform. And it's content, it's commerce, it's experiences, and it's all for the Gen X, right? Because like I told you, the Gen X, you know, like you talking about somebody that got $2.4 trillion and they get ignored. You know what I'm saying? You talking about people that, like, there still are, you know, big LL Cool J fans and big Run DMC fans and big, you know, Rakim fans and Nas fans. They're not, it's not only, and look, I love Lil Baby, like, you know, that moment of truth in the different songs. And I love DaBaby and I love a lot of the new acts. Like, I'm very much a supporter of Future and Thug. And like, I like what they're doing. You know, I'm not one of those OGs that's in the barbershop mad. But at the same time, don't forget about this crew over here. Like, you know what I'm saying? They still got legit fans. Your aunties and your uncles still love, they want to hear the L albums and they want to hear the Nas album. They want to hear, you know what I mean? So I wanted to start something that could really lift up the culture in a big way, and make it not about me, make it about the culture. You know, and so I think it's working well.
That's dope, man. And it's needed too, because I feel like rap is one of the only genres where like people are like, oh, you old, you washed, get out of here. You don't see that with like rock acts, or like they'll bring out like a new a rock artist will bring out an old school rock artist and they'll collaborate on something.
No, well, what I think is that a lot of that has to do with rap is closely associated with making it out of the hood, man. Making it out. And, you know, that's the difference. I think, you know, rock is about musicianship and, you know, I learned to play the guitar in my garage, but it's not so heavily correlated with making it out of a dire situation. So, you know, what happens is, you know, if you're a young boy and you trying to make it, you feel like, yo, that old dude or that dude, that OG is in the way because I'm trying to get out of here.
I want that corner.
I'm trying to get out of here. And every time he shines, it stops me from getting out of here. But that, and sometimes that can be true unless the OG turns around and says, puts a thumb around the youngin and says, yo, come on. You know what I mean?
It's true.
Like for me, with Rock the Bells, that's why I'll pick a young artist that has nothing to do with, you know, who's a completely 2 generations removed, but I'll spin their joints on Rock the Bells on the station because I feel like maybe the music doesn't fall far from the tree, and it sounds like something that the Gen X fans are gonna love, and maybe it's by a youngin', but that's okay. You know what I'm saying? So I just think it's about opening our hearts, you know what I'm saying? And showing love to all generations instead of fronting on them, because that's what I think has been the problem. The problem is that dudes get a little money, you know, and then they start like, you know, for lack of a better word, shitting on a young kid and like not giving not really like respecting who he is as a man, because maybe he's 20 and maybe 40. So now you feel like you don't have to give him manly respect. But he's a man. He's 21. He's a grown man. He may not be 45, but he's a grown man. So I think that respect, I think, is the thing that the youngsters are kind of feeling like a little bit like, they don't respect me. But see, me, I respect. You know what I'm saying? Like, because I started at 16, so I understand that run. I understand that struggle. It's hard for people to relate, to kind of figure out picture now because they see LL and he's a celebrity and he's been on TV and all this shit. But I started at 16. I had R&B artists that wouldn't even talk to me. I'm not even gonna say their names. Like I say, yo, what's up, man? My name is LL. He's 16 years old.
Damn.
Like crazy. You would all out. Well known.
Wow.
So
I could believe it. We could believe it. We've kind of had to deal with that ourselves, so we kind of get it. Yo, LL, it's been an honor talking to you, especially because in 03, I took Shorty to go see Deliver Us from Eva in Jamaica Center Mall. And I got the yeeks after that, so thank you for that. My man, LL Cool J. Listen, you from the hood. You Queens native. Everybody in New York knows about the Bodega. You get the neon sign. What would your neon sign say?
oh man, you gotta put goat on that joint. You know what I mean?
Go, and you're
Go, yo, you know the vibes.
Right?
You know what I'm saying?
You know the go. So like a phenomenon. You know the vibes. You're
No doubt.
yo, give it up for LL Cool J.
You know what I'm
You
saying?
know he's hard as hell.
You know what I mean? He took a muscle-bound man and put his face in the sand.
There
Like
you
I'm
go.
saying?
LL, keep doing your thing, bro. Thank you for chopping it up with us.
Peace, bro.